So we've got Millium. Not bonding with Millium. I'm super bored. I'm thinking I might check out the souvenir shop. What kind of stuff do you think they've got over there? Think it's cool? We're about to have a major discussion about our class's future. How can you be bored? Okay, don't answer that. But you could at least brainstorm something and contribute to the discussion. Nope. You know, I'm never going to come up with anything. And no matter what you decide, it doesn't change things for me. One way or another, Lammy and I are going to keep on fighting with you guys. You just pick a path and we'll bust it open. Good to know. We do value your opinion, so you might want to think things over. Maybe looking at some souvenirs would help clear my head. No. I'll talk to Claire, but I don't plan on using it with Claire. Captain Claire, something wrong? Hello, Reen. It's nothing major. I just received an update from one of my men that contains some information I found personally relevant. Oh, well, I won't pry. But at the risk of sounding condescending, try not to push yourself too hard. Today is one of the few chances we'll get to rest. I appreciate the concern. Still, you have bigger things to worry about than my well-being, like the future of Class 7, for example. And with the town's defenses as solid as they are, now's the perfect time to sit back and figure all of that out. She's putting on a brave face, but I can tell she's more exhausted than she's letting on. No. Alright, let's start at the church. And then work to the other buildings and end with snowboarding. Alright, so there is someone over here. It's probably the sister. Make sure. I'm so glad you were able to find all your classmates. I should probably go around and ask them to all take good care of you. You're like a younger brother to me, and I love you dearly. We have a habit of finding trouble. So true. So very true. Unless you really want to embarrass me, please don't. Well, if you insist, I feel as though I should, though. Okay. Hydrate. Alright. Let's go outside. Find who is up here. Oh, Gaius. I figured a quiet church would be a perfect place to sit and think about what we can do. But so far, it hasn't done me much good. There has to be something we can do to help the people of Erebonia, but what? Yeah, though hopefully whatever we decide on will help people in Nord too. There's got to be something that only we can do that will help better people's lives. We just need to figure out what. That's about the point I'm at. Still, if we keep thinking it over, I'm sure the winds and goddess will grant us their inspiration eventually. Yep. This does actually seem like a pretty good place to brainstorm. Maybe I should join him for a while. No. We can always come back, but... nobody there. Let's go this way. Tidying the storehouse is such a pain in the neck. Maybe please make sure to don't say anything like that in front of our visitors. Although I can't deny that it's true, my back's starting to hurt even. Gee, I wonder why. I sure wish I had that problem. Please, just stop. I'm so envious. She's got the size, she's got the bounce, and those are a seriously deadly combo. Sharon's boobs are pretty impressive too, though. Okay, I had a feeling that somebody was eventually going to mention Sharon's tatas. I wonder who's bigger between the two. Purple's clothes always make it kind of hard to tell how busty she really is. But I'll find out someday. Oh, I'll find out. Oh my goodness. Alright, so no one's out here. Alright, we got one straight ahead and one on each side. I'm assuming straight ahead is upstairs. Yes, it looks like it is. So who's over here? Sarah. Eustace. Deciding what our class should do has proven more difficult than expected. Still, I left Berea hard so that I could make my own decisions about my life. I'll make this one for myself, too. Yeah. I just gotta find her. Even if the decision is yours, the burden doesn't have to be. House Alberea's problems concern every single one of us. There's no reason you need to sort all this out on your own. We've been with you this long. That's not gonna change. Thank you, but I'm aware. Ah! Alright, no one's over there. It's just upstairs. And talk to Sarah real quick. See what Sarah says. Well, seeing as Toval and Miles are safe, I'm guessing all the bracers here in Erebonia are probably okay. Wish I could say the same for our colleagues over in Crossville, though. I can't even get in touch with Wenzel. A friend of yours? Yes, they are. We go back a ways, yeah. He used to be registered as a bracer here, but eventually he packed up and moved to Crossbell. Anyway, leave worrying about the guild to us. You've got enough on your plates as it is. Just focus on what move you guys are going to make next. If you feel like you need a break, I'd be happy to join you, though. And there's somebody upstairs. I think it is to the right. Elliot, not Emma. Sitting here. Brings back memories. Remember trying to lock down ideas for our concert in the middle of our trip? I guess it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like another lifetime, especially since Crow was with us then. Yeah, it really does. But it's another lifetime, isn't it? It's this one. There's no reason that all of us hanging out and having fun has to stay a thing of the past. The only hard part is figuring out how to make that a reality again, which is admittedly pretty hard, but I'm thinking of ways to make it happen. It doesn't really sound like he's getting anywhere. Maybe a break would help clear his head. Anyone else up here? There's somebody over here, but it's probably like a maid or something. Oh, nope, it's Machias. We're not bonding with Machias. I'm bouncing ideas off that might help me think of something, but again, no dice. Afraid my thought process isn't much better. It goes without saying, the saving Elise, Princess Alpha, and your dad takes top priority for me, but we need to consider the country as a whole before we commit to something. The war's taken away our right to be selfish, which means we need to weigh in on more than just what we want, as nice as it would be to abuse Valamar's power willy-nilly. Alright, so it doesn't give us a choice for him, so that's helpful. Okay, not really helpful, it's just good. I just gotta figure out, there's only like a couple places left, so presuming that she's over here at the bar or the house on the end. There she is. I don't mind if you focus on class 7 for a while, but don't forget that we've got a full-fledged witch to worry about. And to be honest, I think the sooner we deal with her, the better. Before the time comes, you might want to try hardening up that bleeding heart of yours. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I do hope she'll give us a chance to talk things out first. That's the kind of soft-hearted thinking I was warning you about. This is not my conversation to enter. And here, I thought you would have grown up a little bit in all of this. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt her later down the line. But who am I to talk? I'm the same way. So I can't bond with Emma? Maybe she would be like the PM bonding thing? It's so wonderful to be back with Celine again. Now I can focus on how we should act from here on out. Not that that will be a particularly easy decision. Yeah, we are glad to have you weighing in on the matter, though. Oh, I just remembered. There's something I need to buy from the shop in the village. Oh? I can't tell you what it is, I'm afraid. It's a secret. I have no idea what she's talking about, but she sure looks happy about it. Okay, now I'm getting curious. Yes. I know Celine's not allowed, but do you mind if I join you with your shopping? If it's okay, I mean. I know the shop here pretty well, so I might be able to help you find whatever it is you're looking for. Really? That would be lovely. But you've got to stay here, Celine. Rena and I can handle this on our own, so don't even try to follow us. Fine, whatever. All the secrecy's creeping me out anyway. It's creeping the cat out. Rena and Emma left a slightly sulky Celine behind and took off to the store to buy whatever it was Emma was searching for. Here we go. The color looks just right, too. That's wool, right? I didn't know you could knit. I used to do it quite often back home, actually. I've been working on a scarf for Celine for a while now as sort of a reunion present. It's almost done, too, but I ran out of wool, so I came here to buy some more. Oh, really? In that case, why not finish it in our living room? That way you should be able to work on it without her finding out about the surprise. That sounds like an excellent idea. Thank you, Reen. After showing Emma to the mansion's living room, Reen decided to sit and accompany her as she worked, and both of them enjoyed the soothing warmth of the fire. And she's like, I made some tea, Emma. Wow, that looks great so far. Why, thank you, Reen. You knew it was going to be blue to match the bow on her tail. I think this deep blue color will really suit her personally. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see how it'll look when it's done. It's nice to see how close the two of you are. Close? Do you really think so? She's certainly important to me, but at the same time, she's not exactly pleasant to me most of the time either. I think she's like that to everybody from what I've seen of Celine. I don't think she means any harm by it. Don't tell her that I said this, but she was really worried about you the whole time we were separated. I know for a fact that she cares about you, even if she has a tough time putting it into words. Really? Thanks for telling me. We've been together since the day I was born, but I guess I still have a hard time reading her. Once I began training to become a full-fledged witch, she became my familiar. So in a sense, she's like a sister to me. Really? I'm kind of jealous. As far as siblings go, it's like you two can be completely open with one another. But when it comes to Elise, I always find myself holding back from saying what I'm really thinking. You say that, but I'm sure Celine is still keeping plenty of things from me. I can certainly be more open with her than I can with Vita. Though, at least, if you don't mind my asking, how are the two of you related anyway? You said she was something of a sister to you when we first found out her true identity? She's a sister in the sense that we both trained to become witches together. I always admired and looked up to her, both for her skill in witchcraft and her beautiful voice. Even now, I feel like I'll never be able to catch up to her in terms of raw talent. I see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. All you can do is keep trying, really. I suppose. One thing's for certain, you won't be able to catch up with her in a day. You didn't learn how to knit that scarf in a day, right? That took time. Catching up to Vita shouldn't feel any different. All you can do is keep trying to better yourself. When you put it that way, you have a point. Thank you for the encouragement, Reen. I feel a lot better now. Is that it? Eventually, Emma finished knitting the scarf and promptly delivered it to Celine. And while she may not have put it in words, it was obvious from her purring that she was very pleased. Your bond with Emma strengthened. Rena and Emma reached link level 3. I'm so glad that Celine ended up liking the scarf after all, even if she is still too embarrassed to wear it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just distraught that you wasted your time and energy making something for me. Make sure you get some rest now, okay? I will, I will. They're so happy together. There's got to be some place where we can unwind together. Yeah, yes. In that case, why don't the three of us head to the foot bath? We've got more than enough time, and it's a great place to relax. Oh, that does sound like a good idea. Inviting a cat to a bath? Yeah, I'll pass. Thanks. Suit yourself, Celine. See you later then. Ah, this feels wonderful. Celine was right. About what? She'd mentioned how the hot springs of Ymir have the ability to promote mana recovery for those who use them. Perhaps it's due to there being a spirit vein nearby, giving them the protection of the spirits. Really? That's interesting. It's a shame Valimar can't jump in here with us then. That's very true. Oh. Her glasses fogged up. Emma? Your glasses have all fogged up, you know. Oops, I forgot to take them off. You didn't need to get that worked up about it. Although, come to think of it... What? What is it? You're staring an awful lot. Oh, sorry. It's just something that's been bugging me for a while. Your eyesight isn't really all that bad, is it? You noticed? Things get a little blurry, but it's not a major issue if I use a little witchcraft to compensate. Thought so. You weren't wearing them for our concert, but your choreography was still dead on. But why wear them if you don't need them? In a sense, they're symbolic of a witch's way of life. A witch must carry out their duties while nestled in the shadows of history. Reveal your true nature and you risk straying from the witch's burden and becoming swayed by basic emotion. Grandmother's always said that to me, ever since I was a little girl. That's funny. I'd always pictured your grandmother as the friendly old lady, but it sounds like she's actually pretty strict. She has to be, really. She's both the Hexen clan's elder and a very powerful witch. So she has a responsibility to guide us in all we do. Both Vita and I were scolded by her fairly often during our training. Yeah, I can see that now. But then one day, Vita broke a taboo and vanished from the village. Grandmother seems to want to find her and punish her for what she did. But as for me, all I want to do is talk with her and find out what made her do such a thing. If I could just learn that. Sorry, Emma. What are you apologizing for? But, you know, sometimes I wonder if I'm being too naive when it comes to Vita. Even still, I'd like to think I've grown at least a little. Maybe it's about time I stopped wearing these glasses too. I couldn't tell you why, but wearing them somehow makes me feel like I'm always keeping secrets from all of you. You don't have to stop wearing them. Not wearing them would suit you. Reen gently put Emma's glasses back on her. Reen, I don't see why you should force yourself to not wear them if you want to. Besides, we're all used to you wearing them now. Oh, really? Still, whether you choose to wear them or not, and whether you're a witch or not, for that matter, you're still the same Emma we'll always love. Don't forget that. Thanks, Reen. That's such a sweet thing to say. After that, they both remained at the footbath and continued whiling away time with pleasant chatter. Your bond with Emma strengthened. Okay, so... I just want to make sure they're all spent. Nope, still shows it. Deciding what our class should do has proven more difficult than expected. Alright, this is the same dialogue that I read before. Hey, wanna come look after Arthur with me for a bit? Who in blazes is Arthur? Oh, was that the name of our family's horse? Got it in one. Since you're kind of a horse expert, I'd really appreciate it if you could help me out with him for a bit. Why not? I'd like to see him myself. Lead on. This is a fine horse. It has a strong air of dignity about it, much like the young horses back at the academy. Yeah, he does. He's pretty friendly too, isn't he? He's been here since Dad took me in, so he's getting up there in years. But he's still got that same energy. Dad still takes him out hunting along with Badeau. I see. I imagine his dignified appearance is a result of much experience then. He does appear to be in dire need of some exercise, however. His muscles aren't quite as defined as they should be. Wow, I'm amazed that you could tell. You're not in the riding club for nothing. He hasn't had much chance to get out and about since Dad was injured, so that's probably why. Savagely rejecting William. Yeah. Then if we can, I'd like to do something about that. What do you say to give him a good brushing before we take him out? I think he'd like that a lot, actually. After brushing Arthur and giving him all the care and adoration a horse could dream of, Rena and Eustace took him out onto the mountain path. It's not that I wouldn't use bonding points for William, just not right away. I'd rather catch up with Laura and Emma and Eustace since they're the last ones and I'm more likely to use them first, and then equally try to spread them out amongst the others. In quite a while since he last had the chance. So it appears. I imagine he would rather go out hunting with his master, however. Horses are always far more comfortable with their usual rider. My family and the riding clubs are no exception. That makes sense, but with Dad's injuries, I don't think he'll be fit to go out hunting anytime soon. Speaking of the riding club, do you have any clue what's going on back at Thor's? And I just remembered something. Silly me, how could I possibly forget that we have Sarah? Let's move them around. There we go. I forgot to put Sarah up when we got her back. Speaking of the riding club, do you have any clue what's going on back at Thor's? You were the one who managed to get the bike out of there, so I figured you might know something. Mind you that I was only able to do so through the Noble Alliance. I tried to make use of my position as a member of House Alborea as best I could. Unfortunately, my authority pales in comparison to Father or Rufus, so I'm afraid that was the most I could do. What a shame. Still, I appreciate you trying. I really do owe you a lot. Even for little things like helping me look after Arthur. I hardly think I deserve your thanks. Being my father's son, some of the responsibility for his disgraceful actions falls on my shoulders as well. I have a duty to all within my power to atone for that to both Baron Schwarzer and Ymir's people. I'm sure my brother feels similarly, even if he appears to be prioritizing his role in the Civil War at the moment. Like I said back in Bereahard, there's no reason for you to feel responsible for what happened here. I understand that you're concerned about your father and your brother, but dwelling on the past benefits no one. All we can do is keep moving forward. You do have a point. No burden out there exists that you should have to shoulder alone. Not as long as you're a member of Class 7. As long as we're together, we'll be able to carry the weight of any burden. One would think I'd be used to how our class works by now. And the Imperial nobility should show its spirit through actions over words. Exactly. We both know what we need to do. We swore it to one another when we fought that moment you came back to us. Indeed, and I fully intend to do as promised. Okay. The two continued walking along the path with Arthur a little longer, then eventually turned and descended the mountain. Of course, upon their return to Ymir, they gave him a generous helping of food before going back to the Phoenix Wings. Your bond with Yusa strengthened. Okay. And their link leveled up. And then now we can look at this one. And so we've got Elisa, Gaius, Elliot. Who do I want? Claire, Milliam. I mean, I can do the second bonding event with Eustace. Or I can do one with Sarah. I think. No, I think I better do one with Sarah. Well, seeing as Toval and Miles are safe, I'm guessing all the racers in Erebonia, something. We read this before. Yes. Would you mind hanging out for a while? Striking while the iron's hot, I see. All right, I could use the company. And I was actually thinking of heading to the tavern for a drink or two. What do you say to a little change of venue? That's fine with me, but I'll stick with living the dry life. Figured you'd say that. Come on, then. No sooner had they arrived at the tavern did Sarah ask Gerald for alcohol recommendations, and after she offered to pay, Reen settled on a ginger ale. Ah, this is the good stuff. It's got a very mellow taste, but it's sweet and refreshing, too. I had no idea you could make something so good out of rice, of all things. It's kind of alcohol from the east that Master Kafai brought here, I believe. Gerald said it's called Junmai Shu. That Master Kafai sure knows his stuff. He sounds like a man I'd love to drink the night away with. He's always been a bit of a heavy drinker, so I'm pretty sure he'd take you up on that if you asked. But you might want to cut down on the booze. With things so shaky now, you never know when you'll need to take action. I know. I'm not planning on getting myself plastered when you've got that discussion later on, so don't freak out. I think I've earned a bit of alcoholic relaxation time personally. After all, I went cold turkey while I was in hiding. It was torture. Would you deny your poor instructor some sweet, sweet relief? Sure, relief. Let's call it that. What have you been doing all this time, anyway? We didn't hear so much as a rumor about you. Oh, I was just lying low, gathering what information I could through connections from my guild years. Yeah, nobody believes that from Sarah. Information about what was going on elsewhere in the country, the capital in particular, that kind of stuff. In the capital? Did you manage to find anything out? No more than you did yourselves, sad to say. The Noble Alliance is doing a great job of keeping information from leaking out of the city. After that, I decided to sneak into the Croatian province to follow the Alliance's movements from there. And that was when I ended up getting in contact with Eustace. I see. It's pretty impressive that you were able to do so much all on your own. Well, working alone and gathering information are two things I had to get used to during my guild years. So it's nothing new for me. If anything, I'm more impressed with everything you've managed to do. I was glad to see everyone here was okay after that Jaeger attack, too. Sounds like it was a high-ranking corps. It was. Yeah, the Northern Jaegers, under orders from Duke Alberea. Fortunately, there were no fatalities, even if the experience was pretty traumatic for everyone. Dad's woken up now, too, so there's been no real long-term damage there. We had the goddess's blessings in that respect. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help you when you needed it most, Reen. You don't need to apologize. You couldn't possibly have known what was going to happen. Is something wrong? You look distracted all of a sudden. No, it's nothing. I was just thinking about what a relief it is that your dad's okay. He always seemed like such a pleasant man, especially for a noble. Handsome, too. I don't like where this is going. Oh, relax. I'm just kidding. Anyway, all that aside, you've made it this far. You can make it the rest of the way, too. Just keep your eyes on the future, and that starts by deciding what to do next. You're right. We'll all be counting on your this stuff is awesome. At least you can let me finish before you wind up passed out on the floor. Okay, so we have Sarah. After finishing her drink, Reen led an ever-so-tipsy instructor Sarah back to the Phoenix Wings. Bond with Sarah strengthened. Link level 3. Alright, and so that looks like everything's grayed out, so those are all done.